Sony, what the heck are you doing? What is the master plan here? In a lot of ways, when it comes to the console wars, I feel like Sony is completely dominating. The PlayStation 5 is still just such an incredible system. I love the exclusives. I love the controller with the haptic triggers and stuff. I love the trophy system. In a lot of ways, I feel like PlayStation is completely kicking butt, and their console sales definitely reflect that. But the biggest downside to PlayStation is still their stupid service plan. PlayStation Plus, and by extension the tier system of extras and premium, these are very overpriced, and once again, they're leaving fans completely upset, myself included. But let's talk about that. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. So just about an hour ago, PlayStation decided to tweet out their official list of games coming to PlayStation Plus game catalog for the month of October. Now, I did hope for something a bit more spooky, obviously because it is the spooky month, but instead we're getting a pretty good selection of new stuff. Obviously, Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition, Vice City, my personal favorite, Dragon Quest XI-S. This, seriously, I'm recently getting into Dragon Quest, absolutely awesome, but there's a severe lack of classics. Remember, the most expensive tier of PlayStation Plus is called Premium, and the whole reason you pay for Premium is to get access to the back catalog. PlayStation 1 games, PlayStation 2 games, PSP games. You know, the stuff that sort of established PlayStation in the first place. Now, if you actually scroll down to the replies, pretty much everybody is universally saying this is ridiculous because of the blatant lack of retro games. The stuff we're paying out the butt for. Look at this, another month of crap classics. At this point, I'll probably be dropping to the standard tier service or canceling Plus altogether. Y'all continue to dismiss the most expensive tier by not adding PlayStation 1 or PS2 titles. So what did they add? So if you scroll past all the new games, which I will admit the fact that they're adding things like the medium, this is very, very cool. Going past all of that though, here we go, our teeny tiny section all the way at the bottom. PlayStation Plus Premium Classics tier. You're getting Yakuza 3, Yakuza 4, Yakuza 5, Limbo, Ultra Street Fighter 4, but you'll notice they're putting the very bad PlayStation 3 version, which is a bit strange. Limbo also, these games aren't retro. Everyday Shooter, Castlevania, these are a bunch of PlayStation 3 games, and I think we can assume they're going to be streamed. Up until now, they have not allowed us to install and play PS3 games natively on the PS4 and the PS5, even though we're paying so much for the service. And I must admit, I share everybody's discontent. I share in this. Honestly, I'm kind of offended by this. Everybody's kind of saying that this is just so ridiculous because this is a good list. The one tiny leak is apparently PlayStation Access is claiming that we're going to get Ridge Racer 2, but I don't think that's enough. My frustration not just comes from the price, it's the fact that this does feel like a broken promise. I mean, Sony straight up said the point of PlayStation Plus Classics, the point of this revamped tier is to bring back the old school games people love. I am a huge collector and lover of old school PS1 games. Resident Evil, freaking Parasite Eve, mwah. Xenogears, these games are so 10 out of 10 fantastic, and I guess my frustration comes from the fact that they're so completely ignored. Even consider the games that Sony completely owns. Like, let's just say that maybe they don't want to pay the licensing fee from Square Enix to get access to this stuff. Well, then why don't you put something like, I don't know, Legend of Dragoon? Why don't you put your own actual games? I've been playing a lot of the PlayStation Plus classics. Literally every single one that comes out, I play. Even something like Siphon Filter 2, which some people say has bad controls. I love the old school Siphon Filter games. Where the heck is the PSP one? Where's Logan's Shadow? Where's Dark Mirror? I guess I keep just sitting here stunned because not only does it feel like you're leaving money on the table, more people would certainly sign up if you actually filled out the service, but additionally, this wouldn't cost you a thing. Sony, you have this problem lately, which is silence. You don't communicate with fans to talk about your upcoming ideas, your itinerary, your docket. And so because of it, it does get me a bit lost and a bit confused. In the PlayStation 4 era, Sony did something that personally I loved so much. Sony would talk about when they started working on a game, they would reveal a big game, they'd talk about the development whenever it was coming along, they'd give us a release date. It was just talk, talk, talk. Hey, here's the next game, here's a reason to be hyped, here's our next quarter, here's our next controller, here's our next console. Sony would not shut up about the idea of the PlayStation ecosystem and making you excited to be part of it. Now, I mean, you can't even get them to mention a state of play without pulling out their teeth, and even then they're only going to mention it like 72 hours before it actually happens. I am a big believer, and maybe this will be a bit off of what most people believe, but it feels like video games are a cycle. It's hearing about a game, it's being hyped for the game, it's counting the days till the game, and then it's beating the game to heck. It's doing every side quest, it's getting every trophy, it's enjoying the entirety of the experience, and then talking to your friends about the game. Video games now are about the experience, they're about the community, they are about the conversation almost as much as being a great game in the first place. At least that's the way I feel about it. This silence, this lack of new PlayStation Plus classics does personally irk me because this just feels like such a big missed opportunity. People love these games. People support these games. People are willing to buy these games. Ape Escape is great. The fact that I can stream Sly Cooper, that's pretty decent. But fill out this classics catalog. Make people actually remember the old school PlayStation that was, in my opinion, so dang perfect. Sony seems to have some weird, I don't know what I would call it, distrust, hatred. It's weird that Sony owns this stuff and just chooses to keep it locked up. I've bagged on Nintendo for doing the same thing in the past, which is I just feel like a lot of times these companies have a huge vault filled with games that people can play, that they have the source code for. They could straight up just drag and drop it onto consoles, but they choose not to for seemingly no reason. PlayStation, I'm not just asking you to release the games. I'm not just asking you to put really cool, interesting stuff like Resident Evil 2's original version and RE3 and stuff like that. I'm asking you to talk to us about it. I'm asking for the conversation to come back. I'm asking for the hype to return to PlayStation. We're going into the holiday months, and I feel like the silence is just deafening in a lot of ways. We still don't know that much about God of War Ragnarok. We've seen some pretty amazing trailers, I must say, but it's coming out in a couple weeks, and I feel like we haven't had a decent chunk of gameplay demo. I don't know, I guess I'm still just sitting here saying, what's next for PlayStation? What's 2023 going to look like? I just want them to be a bit more clear. I know we're in the Jim Ryan era of PlayStation where, it seems like the less they talk, the more those console sales seem to go up. But as a fan, as a lover, as a paying customer, give us a reason. Give us an itinerary. Give us a schedule of what's coming next. But these have just been some off-the-cuff thoughts because honestly, I am frustrated. But tell me your thoughts in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, give it a big old thumbs up, share with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. But do me the biggest favor of all and keep dreaming. By the way, I'm super addicted to my freaking Steam Deck. This thing is glorious. I'm working on a review of it, to be honest. I've been playing the Resident Evil 2 remake. I'm playing so much. This thing is so cool. Honestly, the biggest thing here is it's booting up right now. It's I've been playing Spider-Man. Spider-Man on this thing is nuts. Look at it. Yeah, there's Spider-Man right there. Man, yeah. This is the future. Freaking Spider-Man PS4 on a handheld. This is all I've ever wanted. Thanks so much for watching that video. If you want to see something else, you can always click this link to see what I put up last, or, subscribe and see what's coming up next. Also, I promise that whatever I do, it'll try not to suck.